My name is Ivan Johnson, and I enlisted in the Air Force in 1957. My hometown was Strathcona, and I was in Air Force until 1961.
Okay. And so you enlisted, where'd you go?
Well, everybody in the Air Force takes first phase at Lackland in San Antonio for first phase basic. And then from there I went to Francis E. Warren Air Force Base in Cheyenne, Wyoming for second phase. And then along with that I went to tech school.
Well, let's go through some of your base. And how old were you when you went in?
I was 18.
18? Okay.
Yeah.
And did you do anything, were you doing anything before you went in? Or farming?
No,
or?
I was in, I graduated from high school on a Friday, and Monday I went in the Air Force.
Oh. Yeah, that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you get the basic training, and where was that again?
That's Lackland in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, and explain a little bit about your basic training, would you?
Well, I thought it was easy, but some of them thought it was pretty tough. And it was hot down there. I wasn't used to the high temperatures, but it was fine.
What's some of the stuff you did, like a lot of marching or
Yeah, right.
schooling? What? Okay.
We went to the rifle range and marching and PT, a lot of physical training.
A lot of physical training, yeah. Shots?
Yes, we had shots.
Okay.
And then more shots so when I went overseas.
And when you went in, did you have any people you knew, friends, or?
There were 6 of us from my graduating class from Bridgers.
Oh, really?
Went in, but we got split up right away. We were supposed to stay together, but we got split up.
Okay. And so where did they go, do you know?
I kind of lost track of them.
Okay. All right. And so basic training went fairly well for you?
Yes.
Couple months. Good. Was it a couple months long, or?
Yes. And then second phase in Wyoming, that was a couple months too, 3 months.
Okay, and what was your MOS?
Well, MOS is called AFSC in the Air Force.
Okay.
It was electrical power production operator and repairman.
All right. So what kind of training did you have to do for that?
One was classroom, and then on-the-job training with power plants, electrical power plants.
Okay. Is that like generators or?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you did your training for 2 months. What was that? Is it mostly classroom work for you guys, or?
Both classroom and on-the-job training.
Okay.
Where you work on diesel engines, diesel-powered generator sets.
Okay. And so, what was the food like in the Air Force?
Pardon?
What was the food like?
Good food, right? Yeah.
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 And what kind of living quarters did you have?
In Wyoming, it was just barracks type buildings. They were pretty crude, some of them.
Oh, was it wood two-story buildings, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so you get done with. They have a ceremony or anything for you when you got done with basic or AIT?
Yeah. Yes, there was. I don't remember exactly what we did, but they have some training, some marching and stuff like that.
So before I forget, what did your folks think of you being in the service?
They thought it was all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get done with AIT, and where do you go from there?
went to the island of Crete, in Greece.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that had to be pretty nice.
Yes, it was real good. It was Heraklion Air Force Base in Crete, Greece.
Okay.
And I went to work in a power plant there. The commercial power is 50 cycle over there, so we had to produce power for the whole base, 60 cycle power.
You had to convert it?
Pardon?
You had to convert it to 60 cycle then, or?
No, we had our own generators.
Okay, all right.
Large generators that produce 60 cycle power.
Okay. And so, what was an average workday like?
I suppose it was a 8-hour day, and we were in the power plant 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So you never got a day off, or?
Oh yes, but we took a shift, you know.
Oh, yeah. Did you work all 3 shifts then?
No, I just worked day shift.
You just worked. You got lucky, huh?
Yeah. Well, we were more or less just the overseer. The civilians worked the shift work. The Greek civilians that worked in the power plant.
Yeah. Okay. So, what was the food like there?
Real good. Yeah. Real good food. Yeah.
And living quarters, same?
They had improved them quite a bit by the time I got there. Prior to my tour was Dallas Huts. It was a new base, but they had all new barracks by the time I got there.
Okay. And, how long were you there?
A year. Well, the tour was a year, so I was there less than a year. The year included travel time.
Okay. And so, did you tour Crete, or?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So what are some of the things? Okay, go ahead.
There's some ruins there, and Crete is mentioned in the Bible, but there's the ruins there that date back to BC. Knossos is 1400 BC, and we toured that, and we did some other stuff there. And
what was some of that stuff?
Well, the island is 180 miles long and 7 to 30 miles wide. So we traveled pretty much the whole island.
Not very big, yeah. So at the time, do you know what the population of the island was, roughly?
No, I don't.
Okay. No. Right. So your tour at Crete ends. Where do you go from there?
I came back to the States and went to Lowry Air Force Base in Denver, Colorado.
Did you get a leave? Were you able to go home? Were you able to go home at all?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I took a 30-day leave coming back.
Okay. And then and you went to
Lowry Air Force Base in Denver, Colorado.
Okay. Well, that had to be some pretty good duty too.
It was a missile base.
Okay.
It was a missile training base for the Mason Matador missiles.
Okay, and what'd you do for that?
I worked in the power plants and the trans launchers and things like that.
Okay. And how long were you there?
I think it was about a year.
A year? Okay. So then, what's some of the things you did there?
We worked on trans launchers and power plants, and we ran them up and checked out the missiles and stuff.
Any
the power plants, it was a generator set too.
Okay.
That produced power for the missiles.
Okay. And what kind did you tour around that area at all, or?
Oh yes, Denver is a pretty nice city. And it's within driving distance of the mountains, you know. You can drive up there in a couple hours.
Did you go up Pikes Peak at all?
Oh yes, we went up Pikes Peak. Yeah.
Pretty nice drive, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I felt uncomfortable when I got out that high. I just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
And as soon as we got down to a lower elevation, I felt fine again.
Yeah. Gets you kind of a little dizzy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get done there. Where'd you go from there?
I went to Amarillo Air Force Base in Texas, and I worked in a power plant there.
Okay.
And electric shop, more so an electric shop.
Okay. And what do you do in an electric shop?
Oh, just minor electrical work, replacing bulbs and stuff like that, street lights and everything. And we had generator sets there too.
Okay.
That we maintained.
Do generator runs, make sure they're working right, and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were emergency generators, like for the flight line and hospital and things like that. So if there was ever a power failure, you had to crank up those generator sets.
Sure. So, how are living conditions there?
Yeah, well, fine. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
You had some pretty good duties, the way it sounds.
Yes.
So, how long were you there? Another year there, or
Yeah, well, about that.
about a year?
I don't know if it was quite a year.
Okay. And from there,
Well, I went to Randolph Air Force Base in Texas. Seguin, Texas is just outside of San Antonio. And that's where I was discharged from.
okay, you mustered out there, huh?
Yes.
So, what did you do while you were there?
About the same work. Generator sets and
Okay.
yeah.
And so, did you go home after that, or?
Yes, I did.
And what
I
did
went
you?
back to Strathcona, Minnesota.
Okay. And what did you do there?
I worked on construction for a few years, and then when the GI Bill came out, then I went back to school, and I graduated from Northland and Moorhead State.
Oh, you went to Moorhead State for a while too, huh? Did you graduate?
Yes.
You graduated from Moorhead
2 years.
State? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was?
Yes, 2 years.
What did you get a degree in?
Math.
Math.
I'm a math major.
Okay. And what'd you do with it?
I went to work for Arctic Enterprises, and I went into quality control,
Okay.
and I worked there for 10 years.
All right. What was your rank when you got out?
First class, airman first class.
Which is that an E5?
E4.
E4? Okay.
And I had time and grade for E5, but I would have had to enlist to get the E5.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
They
Okay.
hold that over you.
So, is there anything in your military career that you wish you'd have done different? Sounds like you had a good one.
No, I enjoy it,
Yeah.
and I'd do the same thing again.
Okay. And Ivan, is there anything else you'd like to add about your
Not
military?
really.
Okay.
Not really.
Pretty much summed it all up. You sounds like you had a good time in the military.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing else you want to add?
Well, I did travel overseas and back, and I got to see a few other places. Like I spent, I was in Rome, Italy twice. I was in Madrid, Spain for a week. Athens, Greece. We spent 2 different times there. And there's a lot of history in those old towns, like Rome and Athens.
Sure.
I was in Tripoli 2 different times. That was before Gaddafi kicked us out of the country.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got to see some of the world.
Yeah, you did. You sure did. Yeah. Well, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, Ivan, I want to thank you for doing this interview, and thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank
Thanks,
you.
Ivan. Yep.